One of the most important things you can do, especially as you age or if you have injuries, is keep your lower body strong. When your lower body is strong, you're strong. And when your lower body's strong, you can move throughout your daily life with comfort and ease. The only downside is a lot of people try to do exercises that are way too difficult for them. So if you're a senior, if you're a complete beginner, if you have had surgeries or have aches, pains, and injuries in your lower body, then I highly encourage you to practice these two movements that are gonna help strengthen your lower body in a way that is kind to your body and hopefully is pain-free. The first movement is called the supported sit to stand. And this is such a foundational movement that I highly encourage you to practice this every single day, every time you sit down in a chair and every time you stand up. And here's what it looks like. You're gonna start by bringing your feet slightly wider than hip width and turning your toes slightly outward, okay? From there, you're going to push your butt back. So many people make the mistake when they sit down in a chair by bringing their knees forward. That puts all the pressure here and takes a lot of pressure off of here. Well, these are the muscles that are really strong and the joints that are really strong, and these muscles are a lot weaker and a lot less strong joints for most people. So again, push your butt back, weight stays on the heels. Once you've gotten to this position, bring your hands down onto your thighs like this, push your knees out, keep the weight on your heels, and then slowly come down like you're sitting in a chair, right? Using your arms for support, all right? Sit down, slow and controlled. Now the important part is to reverse the motion the exact same way we just came down. And it looks like this. You're going to press into your heels, get the quads firing. You're going to bow forward through the hips like this, okay? That doesn't mean round your back like this. It means bow forward through the hips. And as we do this, we're gonna press our hands into our knees, drive through the heels, extend the hips as we get to the top position, and that is how we do a sit to stand with good form. Now again, you can practice this throughout the day, every time you sit down, taking your time, being mindful of your movement, trying to build that mind-muscle connection with your legs, with your hamstrings, with your glutes as you extend your hips. And you can even put this into a workout if you want. Something like doing 3 sets of 10 slow and controlled reps like this, 3 times a week. Now, if you practice this consistently, it is going to strengthen your legs. It's gonna make your knees feel better. It's gonna make your ankles feel better. It's gonna loosen up your hips. It's gonna make your glutes stronger. And it'll hopefully improve your posture too if you're really mindful of that one cue. And again, every time you sit down and stand up, this is the move to practice. Now, the second movement I want to show you is one that's really important because another common problem that we have is that when people get older, when they're a beginner, when they have weak muscles in their lower body, they end up hurting their lower back. And the reason why is we go to pick something off the ground, we have bad form, we have weak legs, and so we try to compensate through the muscles in the back, and we go like this, and we hurt our lower back. So instead of doing that, practice this movement to start training you how to do this with good form. It's called the frog hip hinge, and we're gonna do it supported with a chair. So this time, we're gonna go an even wider stance. So way outside of hip width, toes turned outward. From there, you're gonna put your hands on the chair in front of you, and the most important thing you wanna do with this is from the tailbone to the top of the head, keep that in one straight line, okay? Now, slight bend of the knees, push the weight back on the heels, hands out front for support, and you're gonna try to bring your torso as far down as you can. So not straight legs again, slight bend of the knees, making sure the knees are going the same direction as the toes, weights on the heels. Then once we're here, we're going to try and stand up to the upright position, but not using our lower back muscles. We're not going and yanking on our lower back, right? What we're doing is this. We're imagining that we're doing a hip extension, right? If you want to feel that, you can even grab on the chair and you can just go like this, and you can extend your hip behind you, and you can feel the butt muscles and the hamstrings activating. That's what you want to feel when you do this movement. So hinging forward from the hips again, and then pushing into the heels, squeezing the butt muscles, and using those muscles to come to an upright position. Now, one more tip for you. If you don't feel the butt muscles working, imagine this. As you come forward, pause at the bottom. Now imagine the toes are turning outward. Imagine you're like wiping your foot, so you're actually making this motion, like this motion right here. When you think about turning the toes and the knees outward, you'll feel the muscles of the hips immediately start to fire. Maintain that tension as you come to the upright position, and you'll start to train yourself how to properly use your hip rotators and your glutes to extend your hips in that forward hinging position. Now, just like a sit to stand, you can practice this like every single day. You can do it throughout the day, anytime you see a countertop, anything in front of you. It's gonna help create more mobility in the hamstrings. It's gonna help create more core strength and more awareness of how we're supposed to move through our lower body so that we don't end up injuring ourselves. And regardless of how you approach these two movements, these are the two movements that I think everybody should do. If you're a beginner, seniors, have had aches, pains, injuries, surgeries, etc. on your lower body. Practice them daily, and guess what? Your legs will get significantly stronger, more flexible, you'll have better balance and coordination too, which all equates to you feeling more amazing in your body. So give them a shot, okay?